What is up, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show. About to do a new podcast called The Great Divide. The whole Kevin Samuels situation, what he's talking about on YouTube, is starting to cause a divide within the Black community on social media. So I want to talk about that. Let's break this down because there's a lot going on that needs to be addressed. Again, on another episode of the Dre Mack Show.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mack with another episode of the Dre Mack Podcast
All right, on this episode of the Dre Mack Podcast Show, this is called The Great Divide. And the question of the day is, do you think we can have a serious conversation about Black men and women? I wanted to say without hate, but it says with hate, but whatever. I messed it up. But anyway, okay, so if a lot of people don't know who Kevin Samuels is a fashion consultant, image consultant, that started a YouTube page for men, trying to get them ready for success, letting them know what type of things that they can be able to wear, but they can't wear as far as image, because that's what he does. He's a salesman, he's an image consultant. And then he started to switch his conversation around women. It wasn't until he changed the situation over to Black women, that's when his YouTube channel and his content was sky high. And it started with one viral video that went to World Star. And like with any great salesman, they're going to continue to push their product. Now, in the midst of that, you have had people that has became Kevin Samuels fans, or I'm actually say this word, Kevin Samuels fanatics. And then you have a tribe of people who are going against Kevin Samuels. A lot of them are Black women too. If you ever read Madame Noir, Sister to Sister, it's a lot of slander that comes in even when talking about them. It's not constructive criticism, it's feelings. And that is a problem from both sides. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that Kevin Samuels is just the savior of the universe. That's absolutely ridiculous. Nobody's the savior of the universe or savior of Black relationships or whatever. That is on us. That is on us. For us to be able to stand in the gap and actually talk about these particular things without feelings getting involved. And I'm going to be real with you. It seems like anytime anyone criticizes Black women, there's a group of people, Black men included with this, that wants to shut us down by talking, and it can be something logical, but it seems like you cannot even talk about the things that we want to talk about with Black women as Black men, because it starts to become toxic masculinity. The finger starts to get pointed back, like, well, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do that. And it doesn't become a conversation to say, are you above reproach? Are you above criticism? There is things that's happening in the Black community that needs to be addressed, and it's both men and women. And this time, the shoe was just on the other foot for men to talk about women, because somebody created a platform to be able to push what is going on. So the thing that's starting to unravel with me, and it's starting to like it's starting to get into my crawl, is that you have people that might not agree with anything Kevin Samuels does. but they don't even take the time to actually sit down and listen to everything that the brother has to say because they have a feeling. I don't feel right. It's something about this. It's feeling, not logic. You're not thinking. It's not a thought process to be able to make an educated and concrete judgment about someone. And the number one thing that comes out is the judgment on the brother's sexuality. And I'm not defending him because I'm about to go with him also on the back end of it. But what I'm saying on this portion is that it's either slander, the brother's gay. You know what I'm saying? How can you listen to somebody that's on YouTube? Which is a shame because a lot of y'all listen to celebrities and post this crap on these memes and listen to these memes and then go have the nerves because you don't like what he got to say and be like, look, that brother's gay. Who is he to be sitting around? He ain't this and he ain't that. Y'all sit up there and post memes all day from some anonymous person or some rapper, you know what I'm saying, who has less credentials than any of these folks who don't even have a college degree. And then you have a problem with what he says. But you listen to what some rapper, some entertainer says, who don't really give a crap about your money. So let's keep it in focus. Because that's a shame that you would throw shade, and people don't like that. They don't like the realization of what is really being said. So you will go with throw shade, but sit up there and you listen to some entertainer and be like, "Ooh, he got all the answers." Most of y'all during the presidential election listen to celebrities tell you who to vote for, and then you have the nerves to talk about Kevin Samuels talking about relationships. How does that look? How does that sound? Does that sound like something that's actually a portion of reality? It sounds like somebody is this. If it's not what you want to hear, you don't want to hear it and you dismiss it. And then you be like, oh, well, he must be this, or who hurt him? He must be gay. I'm not going to lie. Honestly, that is annoying. Do you know that it's not just him. I can get on Clubhouse, which is an app right now on Apple, and we can be talking about relationships, and the men starts talking about the things that we are seeing through our black women and be like, oh, who hurt y'all? Y'all must don't like women. See, I'm gonna just do what I want to do and I'm gonna be who I want to be. It's a shame that a man can try to stand in the gap and try to tell you this is not the way that we want to perceive this image, and you get mad about that because you want to do what you want to do. But then when we look at the actual statistics about men and women and about the difference when it comes to 50% of African American men and women not being married, and then we don't want to talk about the actual facts. We want to talk about how you feel, not about how we can get over, not how we can be able to. Someone actually want us to protect y'all. Well, damn it, let us stand in the gap and tell you you're wrong too. Let us at least do that. Because one thing that real men are not going to do is pander to your feelings all the time. They are not going to do it. If you want a real man to be able to lead, he's not going to pander to your feelings. I'm sorry. Derrick Jackson, y'all love Derrick Jackson. Y'all love Derrick Jackson because he was pandering to your feelings. And then turned around and he's no better than the next Negro you used to fool with. So did anything that Derrick Jackson teach you or tell you help you in your relationships? You don't want it. It seems like you are above reproach. We can't talk about you, but you Negroes will talk about black men all day. And that's the problem that I have. You can't talk about us and then get mad when we say something about you. We have to make sure that if you want to be equal, everything got to be on the table. We got to come to an equal playing field because we're both in the wrong. It's not just one person, not just black men out here, and black men get a lot of stereotypical things shot at them ever since Birth of a Nation in 1920s. They came to cinema all the way into now. There's always been a stigma on black men. Always been a stigma that black men are rapists, black men are horrible, black men this, black man that, black man this, black man that. And we eat this shit for breakfast and walk and continue to move. So when we have something that we want to talk about with black women that we don't like, at least damn it, listen. Maybe you will understand some of the things that's going on. It's as simple as that. But if you're not listening, you're disregarding what black men are saying. This is going to start the divide. Now, let me flip this. Because I'm not going to sit up here and criticize y'all and not talk about the Kevin Samuels fanatics. They go on there and automatically start judging women because they do have an opinion or a rebuttal to what Kevin Samuels is saying. Because I'm not going to sit up here and say everything Kevin Samuels is saying is right. He does make a lot of valid points. But I'm not going to sit there and say that everything that 100% of his content, is 100% right. But then also we have to look at it in the context that it is. This is what I have a problem with. It's the Kevin Samuels fanatics that go on there and just a woman says, "Hey, I don't like his content," and then they start bashing the sister. And not asking her the question, which they should be asking him. Why? 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 The word why sparks a thought because it makes you think. And a lot of us are not thinking because we're going off of feelings. That's why the black community has a great divide. This is why there's a great divide. Because we're not talking to each other logically. We're talking to each other emotionally. And that is a problem. Another problem with the Kevin Samuels, a little bit with the Kevin Samuels content is he's not teaching these sisters like he was teaching the brothers. Now, I like I said on my last video that I was laughing with at the Dr. Umar and the grits, there was something that a good friend of mine had to come back and tell me. She was like, it's not that what he's saying is wrong. We're talking about Kevin Samuels. Is he teaching? So I had to go back and watch his old videos, how he was coming to men. And when he was doing all of his material towards men, he was teaching men to the point where they hated his guts because he was telling the truth. He was absolutely telling the truth. He had to tell, and again, let's not sugarcoat anything. We have a lot of men that have grown up without an uncle, a father figure, the big homies in the neighborhood. Nobody to teach our men properly. I blame that on our society, black folks. I'm talking about black men not taking the time out to try to teach other black men and not worried about themselves or worried about chasing some more coochie. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100% funky with you. I'm going to also blame some of the women who take their time to bash their baby daddies, ex-husbands, whatever the case may be. Because he don't want to be with you or whatever. All right, he don't want to be with you. But all that negative energy that you pouring into that child, you're creating a monster. And you don't want to hear that. When you sitting up here pouring out all your evil spew and all this other crap into a child, a man or a woman child, you are creating a monster. It is what it is. And then that child grows up and then they turn around and they don't know what an actual man is and they won't listen to him because you already put the negativity, you already planted the seed. Now the seed of negativity is in this child's mind and he don't even want to comprehend conscious information because he has so much of your energy in him. We have seen this before from black boys. Don't believe me? Go and look at the society right now. We have men that turn around and propagate getting over on women or all of that, and they do it in front of their child. They do it in front of their boys and their girls. Y'all wrong too. I'm coming after both of us, men and women. Because if we're not going to come together and stand in the gap, we can scream Black Lives Matter all day long. But if Black Lives Matter, we need to come together and talk about this logically. and not live in some fantasy world that is driven by social media. You don't want to hear that. But it's the funky, dirty, nasty reality of where we at right now. And shout out to my homegirl Sharon. What's going on, Lieutenant? But we need to get ourselves together now. We need to. But we have to have tough conversations without feelings. That goes for you men too. Because there's a lot of men that sit up there and blasting Kevin for his material and still not asking the question, why are we having these conversations? They're not asking why. Because why sparks a thought. And we don't think because we move off of emotions. And that's the reason why the Black community is in shambles. Because we want to be the victim so bad. Well, we have a mind to be able to overcome and come together. But no, victimhood sounds so much better. It sounds so much better to say, woe is me, look at me, look what I'm going through. Without saying, yeah, I'm going through this. How can I be able to fix it? Logically, Black men, I need you. I need you. As a Black man, I need other Black men. We don't need to be sitting up here beefing and all this other crap because we want to impress somebody just as broke as us. And when I say broke, I'm not talking about your money. Broken. There's so many young Black men that's broken. That's why emotionally we get upset and we shoot each other. But y'all don't want to hear that. What do you think the cause of death is when you start talking about all these murders that go on between other Black men? It stems from emotions. It doesn't stem from a logical thought. It's emotions. Because you felt like he disrespected you, or you felt like he was looking at you, and you felt this and you felt that, and then turn around and you murdering each other. One of y'all going to jail, one of y'all dead in the grave. Ain't none of y'all doing anything that could have been helping our community. Black men, I need you. Because if we're not doing this back and forth and beating at each other, we could be over here standing in the gap for our children. We could be able to be standing in the gap as leaders for our women so they don't think we out here just punk bitches. And I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all don't want to hear that, but this is what's going on in our society right now. That's why we have the Great Divide. If we could come together and start putting positivity into our children, not just telling them that they're kings, not just telling them that they're queens. You could be an engineer. You could be an electrician. You could be out here constructing and building houses for our community. You could be policing our communities. You could be the prosecutors and the lawyers for our community. So when people come into our community, we can be able to get them people out. But you don't want to hear that because it's so easy to go tell somebody go be a basketball player or go be a rapper and not telling them the things that we actually need for our society to continue. That's what we need. Strong leadership from men. It shouldn't have to fall on the women. We should be the ones leading. So they'll know how to fall in line. And ain't nothing wrong with falling in line. Because if they see you moving in productivity, they will come and follow. But we're too busy following everything else that social media puts out in front of us. Chasing the bag. You too busy chasing the bag and our communities out here dying and decaying. Our children out here looking at you chase a bag. Now they want to chase a bag instead of getting the education and being able to build a society right. And I'm sorry, Kevin Samuels is right. It's going to take the Black family coming back together. It's going to take the Black family coming back together. But if the men are not leading right, what do you think the women gonna do? Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it funky. We're on social media, and I'm going through my YouTube channel. Ever since I literally put up the video about Kevin Samuels and Dr. Umar, all I'm seeing is Kevin Samuels versus Dr. Umar. Which, yeah, we can see the humor in it. But what if these brothers would have came together? Just what if? And Kevin Samuels said, I have no problem with it, but he's tired of women coming on his platform saying, talk like him. And instead of just calling Kevin Samuels or try to get in contact with him, DM him, whatever, so let's have a conversation. Let me get on your platform and let's talk about this. And let's be able to get a understanding together as men. And right, Greg, they still could. They still could. What we start seeing is pot shots. These beta males out here are going around causing the 3Ds, divide, this, that, and the other. I don't like men who making money on black women feeling bad. But yet, I played the video over and over again about how you was in your feelings because Quaker Oats is making $19 million wherever you got that figure from. Because you never said where'd you get it from, not the source or anything. And you got mad because you can't build the school that you want. Instead, if you really cared about, and I'm going to tell this is to Dr. Umar. If you cared about black boys so bad, you don't give a damn if you was teaching in a box because black boys matter more than the damn school you looking for. And that's on my mama. If you really cared about black men and black boys so bad and building up these black men, you wouldn't care what that school looks like because all you care about is young black boys growing up and seeing something different in this society. But no, you want to go around and make us feel bad because we won't donate money to you so you can renovate a Marcus Garvey building. But there's pop-up schools all over the place. The Mormons got pop-up schools. Hebrew Israelites has got pop-up schools. The Fruit of Islam got pop-up schools. What is your excuse? And they not asking for our grits money. Now let's talk about that. So instead of out here being emotional because nobody won't give you money, you mad that Kevin Samuels won't give you is making money off of his content. People call it to his show and his response how he wants to because that's his show. And instead of calling this brother and saying, let me get on your show so we can be able to talk, so we can be able to get an understanding, so I can ask the simple question, why? Why? It's the easiest question in the English language. That's why a lot of people in church, when you go to a church and ask the questions, why? And you would know what type of church you at. Because if they can answer your questions of why, then you know they're speaking truth into you. Because they can logically break down what's going on and why you should even be there. Why? Why do you think our women is asking what is going on with men? That's why I commend Kevin Samuels for going after the men first. But it wasn't popular when he was going after the men first. Now, all of a sudden, he's talking the barbershop talk that we normally talk about, and women are being upset. Why? Why are you upset? Because it hurts your feelings? Or maybe it's something that you need to ask yourself. Why is he even saying this? What are we not doing? Or we treating our men like they're less than? No different than the KKK. Are we talking to black men and young black boys like they ain't shit? Because I see black women that will talk to their sons like they the Negro that left them. But we don't want to talk about that. We don't talk about how therapy is needed in the black community because a lot of black people, especially coming from black neighborhoods where it's crime infested, suffer from PTSD and a lot of emotional trauma, and how that needs to be fixed before you get into a relationship. But we don't want to talk about that because that hurts your feelings. No, that is saying that you need to take responsibility for yourself as an adult. At least he's man enough to stand in the gap and actually tell you that. Instead of pandering to you and telling you this and telling you that, and you fall by the wayside. That's all I got to say. We have a divide because we won't come together and speak truth to each other without being mad. without hating each other, without saying, oh, you gay, oh, you a hood rat, oh, you don't listen, you ain't no queen, you a peasant. That is the divide. Let's come together and let's talk. And let's speak on what is going on in our community and how we can fix it properly. I need you, black women, but I don't need you coming in on no high horse. I need you coming in with your ears on so you can be able to listen what black men are actually saying. And black men, we need you with your ears on to hear what black women are saying so we can come up with a solution so we are not dividing ourselves. It's bad enough that we're already divided by color, by economic status, by education, and that's just in the black community. So if we're not talking real, if we're not talking 100 without feelings going around, I feel like this, I feel like that, but what is your brain telling you? What logical thought can you give me to give me a proper understanding of what's going on and how to be able to fix it? Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. And yes, how true is what he's saying? Never mind how you feel. Keep it 100. Sometimes you literally, and I do this with Dr. Umar, because Dr. Umar is a very good speaker. Sometimes I gotta spit the meat, I gotta spit the bones out and just chew the meat, whether it's a little bit of meat or a lot of meat. Because sometimes he says something that actually is profound. And both of these brothers are college-educated brothers. So why not come together and let's talk amongst each other? This is what and you can go back to what's the brother's name? Kevin Samuels was on his podcast. Shoot, I can't think of his name offhand right now. I see his face. I can't think of the brother's name right now. But he was on the podcast and they was asking him the hard questions. They were asking him literally the hard questions. And he had to face the firing squad. And he did it articulately. And say, this is the reason why. This is why I say this. This is why I say that. I've been like this. Joe Budden podcast. Thank you. Thank you, Greg. The Joe Budden podcast. Go back and watch that podcast. Stop watching women. I'm going to tell you this before I let you guys go. Stop watching snippets of Kevin Samuels. Stop listening to people who's trying to say, look at how this, this so-and-so, look, how dare he have the audacity to tell us what we need to do. We women, we know what we need to do. Just go watch the brother's material for yourself and make a logical thought for yourself. Not without feeling, not with the feelings or anything like that. Just go watch. Tommy Sotomayor, whatever his name is. I didn't like the brother's content, but I listened. I listened to the whole entire thing. And then I made a logical choice. This is not the type of brother that I want to listen to. Nothing against him. There's nothing against him. But I just wanted to hear it for myself. Then I could make a logical point or logical thought on where I should go from here. Should I support the brother or not? You don't have to support me. You don't have to. That's okay. But at the end of the day, when you listen to what I'm saying, ask yourself, why am I saying it? And what we could do to fix it. That's it. Yes, and Greg, he spoke, and I know you read it. He spoke on all of it and really broke shit down. And that's how it's supposed to be. If a man, you know what I do? I treat a man of how he stands on his word. That's how I treat a man. If he's true to his word, and I do women like this too. If you're true to yourself, you can never back down when someone questions you why. When you can stand up and represent what you feel and what your ideal is and what you think and stand completely on that, unwavering, unbearing, I can rock with you because you won't wave off of what you think in life. So like when that shooting happened, no man stood up for me. Black people, and Jody, you right. Black people, nobody's coming to save us. Let me reiterate, no one is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. So instead of this social media divide on what this person thinks or what that person thinks, let's come together and stand in the gap for the next generation. How about that? This is your man, Dre Mac. Make sure to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead, go to the YouTube channel. Right now, the Dre Mac Show. Go to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Make sure to give me a thumbs up for this video, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace, shalom to everyone. I love y'all. I'm out.
What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Dre Mac, with another episode of the Dre Mac Podcast Show.